This week, I'm watching 7-wheel strategy stocks like a hawk. Let me show you. Yo, what is going on, Premium Chasers? I hope you are having a God-blessed day today. Every single person that comments down below is going to get our option sellers allocation guide, which is an absolute must if you're an option seller, right? To allocate your portfolio the smart way so you're still diversified while you're collecting some of those juicy premiums. So if you want the allocation guide, just drop a comment down below on today's video, and I'll send it over to you. And hit that like button and that subscribe button. But guys, today we are going to be talking about the 7-wheel strategy stocks that I'm paying attention to. Some of these are in the quote unquote cheaper category, and then some of them are a little bit more expensive. So let's dive into it. So the first thing, let's do a quick little recap of our public portfolio here, because we had a quote unquote a little bit of a busy week here. Okay, we opened up a cash secured put on American Airlines for a really juicy return, guys. This was I was actually shocked to see that I got a 3.36% collateral return. So I locked up $1,200 for $40 return. I mean, that is for a $40 premium. So that is insane. Obviously, not financial advice. Results vary. This is just the trade that I actually took live here on the portfolio. I was just shocked because AAL is one of my favorites, and usually we don't get those kind of juicy premiums on it. So you could see we did that. We also closed our position out on Snapchat, our cash secured put on Snapchat. We gave $8 back. We still locked in after the bought to close that for a 2.62% ROI on collateral. And if you want this full trade log, it's yours completely for free. Click the first link in the description of today's video, guys. And you can follow along. You can download it for yourself, all that good stuff. And now we also have a couple other positions opened that are coming up here, right? So we got to be paying attention. September 26th, so this coming Friday, are we going to get assigned Kraft Heinz? The world may never know, right? We're going to see, obviously, together, and we're going to play that as smart as we possibly can. And then we obviously have our Snapchat covered call for the following Friday, October 3rd. So we've got a busy couple weeks, especially with the public portfolio. So first one I'm paying attention to is American Airlines. This thing has kind of been, a little bit more beat up on it. So I have, got into my cash secured puts on this. I already shot a video on it when I did this trade. We're still kind of just playing around that, towards the bottom Bollinger Band area. So still a decent setup. Nothing I'm going to be jumping into more of, that's for sure. But you never know with American Airlines. If this thing picks back up towards this level and bounces back off this bottom Bollinger Band area towards the top Bollinger Band, towards that 1350 maybe area, if it does it this week, who knows? You never know what can happen in this market. It's so insane. I will be obviously closing that position out, right? So we're going to obviously be watching that. We have plenty of wiggle room here. We got plenty of wiggle room. Sorry, I just spit all over my screen. We got plenty of wiggle room here. What do I mean by that? Well, I will usually go for a 2 to 2.5. I'm being a little bit more aggressive than normal on my public portfolio. So if I want to close this out, let's say I close it out for $10, meaning I give $10 of premium. Look at this. I still am capturing 3.36% right there. Actually, that is not calculating correctly. Let me go ahead and fix that here. Let's see. This is, I'll fix it after, but let's just see real quick on the fly. Let's see if we can, actually, I'm not going to update it, but we collected, 40.33. We could put it in our cash secured put calculator to quickly see what our actual return is. So $40 right here, which gives us our 3.33. And then if we give back 10, let's say, so we close it out for 30, we're still hitting our 2.5 goal. But I will fix that on the live portfolio because that should be updated dynamically here. So I will make sure that is fixed here. So I copy this from my private little area here. So I will fix that for everybody. Obviously, first link in the description if you want to download it, and it will be fixed. Next one. Obviously, paying attention to Snapchat here, guys. This one's been ping-ponging back and forth. Let's get it back down to reality here because I want to jump into some more cash-secured puts on this. Down 3%. When this thing took off, and I closed out my cash-secured put around that 8. I was probably around the 820 level when I closed it out. I didn't time it perfectly. A lot of people in our community actually did time it like really nicely when it hit that 830. I didn't personally, but I was like, dude, let's get back down. Let's come back down to reality, Snapchat, but get out of them when we can. That's why being a little bit more active, setting your limit orders, good till cancel, capture, 70, 80% of that premium, have your brokerage automatically buy to close it. It's always worth doing those little extra steps as an option seller to squeeze out the most amount amount of premium that you can, because if you're letting everything just go to expiration, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're missing out on some gains. You just are, right? You just are, when you could be a little, just slightly more active, right? And it's, it's like anything in life. You could, the more serious you take it, the better off you're going to be usually, okay? So obviously we're paying attention to Snapchat because we may jump into some more cash secure puts if we get back down towards those, 7-ish, 750-ish. Even if it gets back down 750, I will most likely be looking at the $7 puts and stuff like that. So paying attention very closely, obviously, to Snapchat. And, we have our October 3rd calls. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up selling those shares, which will be absolutely awesome. Obviously, Kraft Heinz, mentioned this one already. Public portfolio this Friday. What is going to happen? We're at 26.42. I have $27 puts. We've rebounded off the bottom Bollinger Band area. Are we going to get assigned? We will see. I'm fine even if we're at this 2750 level. My plan is going to be, or 2650 level, and I get assigned at 27. I'm just most likely going to sell calls at 27 because I'm still, I can factor my premium that I collected in, or 2750s. We'll see what we get. Either way, I'm going to be doing those covered calls immediately, getting those shares to work. There ain't no dead weight in the public portfolio, guys. You already know. And this is how you, in my opinion, this is how you got to be as an option seller, right? Get as much of your collateral working for you. Obviously, some dry powder is always nice to have for opportunities, but you got to kind of, whatever your allocation is, right? And obviously for the allocation guide, drop a comment down below. All of our allocations are going to be a little bit different. Another one that I'm paying attention to, a lot of people in our community are paying attention to, is Kenvue. Okay, obviously a lot of drama surrounding this company right now, but with that said, still a great company in my opinion, and it's just been getting beat up here ever since that drop that they've took, and kind of sitting in this $18 level. Great cash secured put opportunity, at least in my opinion. So I'll be watching this one. If I free up some collateral this week, or sell my Snapchat shares, and I get my let's say I have around $1,700, I'll be looking at like the $17.50, maybe $17 puts, most likely the $17.50s. Like when the stock is really, I'm going to say this in like a blanket statement. If I can time the stock and it's like a stock I actually like, and I really genuinely think it's a huge market overreaction, and it's like at the bottom Bollinger Band, I have no problem doing real close to the money stuff. Even if it's a higher delta and or whatnot, because like I'm getting more premium, and I have a higher chance of assignment, which I am not afraid of assignment, guys. Like if you guys have seen me complete the wheel fully now. I like assignment. I want to be assigned, right? So right here, I will play closer to the money with this. I even made 18s maybe, like, you know what I mean? Because again, I do think it's going to recover fairly quickly here. Okay, so paying attention to that. Next on Target continues to be this falling knife, which is so odd. And in the market that we're in right now, especially in like the tech sector where there's really not much opportunity, I think there's a lot of opportunity in these kind of like consumer kind of businesses, right? You'll see like consumer staples, right? Like and brands that own a lot of products. And obviously Target's not necessarily that, but still not necessarily my niche, but a great business. Like who else is scared when their wife goes to Target, right? No, but in all seriousness, jokes aside, I do really like Target. I am paying attention to this one very heavily, especially in the market that we're in right now. Obviously I love the tech and IT networking sector, but there's just no juice there to be squeezed right now, guys. That we had that a few months ago when I was talking about it. Now we're kind of in the boring world of stocks, unfortunately, and that's just me. And heavily oversold, 31 on the RSI for Target, man. So maybe 85s, who knows if it keeps going 80s. All right, obviously we'll see, and you guys will be updated about that. Next one, Fortinet. I need this thing to start pumping. All right, I need this thing. It is at the top bowl. Look at I love when this happens. This is why I tell you all indicators are Fugazi. So look at this. I need this thing up. I need this thing hitting 85. I need this thing hitting 90. So I can run some covered calls on this, but it's working its way back. Huge market overreaction after earnings. It's just one of those higher conviction stocks. This is a very widely deployed cybersecurity product across the board, from high frequency trading firms to institutions. Just again, maybe not a super high conviction stock for me, but very high conviction stock that I knew there was a market overreaction. But with that said, your boy needs this to get this up a little bit for some covered calls. So paying attention very closely to Fortinet. And last one is one of the old reliables, okay? One of the most reliable companies in my personal opinion for the Ark option strategy, and that is Coca-Cola, getting beat up as well, right? Dividend king, great dividend, great for Ark option strategy. I'm going to continue to ride this thing down with some cash secured puts as long as it lets me, especially with it being below the 2 and 300-day moving averages. I'm not going to beat myself up, buying Coke. Guys, click the first link in the description of today's video. Get my full trade log. Also, if you're a non-toxic person, you're financially stable, and you want to learn how to sell options, or you're already selling options and you want to take it to the next level and network with other individuals that are doing this day in and day out, people that are just getting started and people managing 7-figure portfolios, right? Click the first link in the description of today's video. You'll learn about the Ark option strategy. You can book a call with me and my team. We like to speak to everybody that we bring into the community because it's a non-toxic environment. As you're going to see, the last thing we want is some ridiculous people in there that think they're going to make 10 grand a month or 5 grand collateral. If that's you, just whatever, you go take care of you. You go buy options, bro. But with that said, click the first link in the description of today's video if you want to learn more about that. Remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.